How would you assess the way your team has started the season, Torts?
Inconsistent,
Yeah.
still learning day to day.
How much of your hockey life do you feel was invested here in Columbus?
Oh, I don't even know how to answer that question. I'm so I'm just not looking at it that way. I'm looking at it as I just said. We're trying to get our day's work in today, get prepared to play the game tonight.
John, you came back to coach in Tampa, New York. This is not a new thing for you. Is it different for coaches than it is for players, or do these games hold special meaning for coaches as well?
You know how coaches are. We go from game to game. Sometimes we don't even know what team we're playing. It's just another team, and we're trying to find a way to help our club prepare them to win the hockey game. But I'm not going to be disrespectful in knowing that this was an area my wife and I love being in, and spent a lot of time here, invested in the community, and we don't forget that. We have tremendous friends here, and we always will. We've come back, and we will always come back. But this is a game for us, and that's how I think coaches approach it, is getting ready to play our next game.
You feel invigorated by this after a year away from coaching? Is it good to be back in the saddle again?
Yes. I missed it. I don't miss this shit here. I miss the locker room and everything about the locker room. After I step out of the locker room, I don't miss any of the other stuff. I just like being with the players and trying to prepare them to play the best they can play.
You're coming off of 2 good wins that you were pretty happy with. What is your message to the guys about using what they did right in the past 2 games and building on it?
Well, just with our tape session today, it was really the first time that I was able to use quite a bit of good stuff, good clips to teach. So there's different ways of teaching, right? You can pick it apart, and this is wrong, what are you doing, all that stuff that you go with. But I was able to turn it around today and show that maybe we're getting there in certain areas. We're beginning to learn certain situations, and because there was some good stuff, especially the last game. I thought we put more good minutes in the last game than we have in any other game. Didn't rely on our goalie as much as we've had to do this year. So that's kind of the message. And still, we're 12 games in. We have so much work to do, but there are certain times in the year you can show them, you know what, maybe we're beginning to understand.
You mentioned that you were going to show a couple of Rasmus Ristolainen's blocks to the team in the film session. Yeah. After the game, you didn't have like an immediate assessment of how he played, but how did you feel like he played overall?
Made some good outlet passes. I thought moved his legs better. Escaped out of a corner one time, made a good play up the middle. We're out of our end zone. I'm not going to give you a Risto rundown every day. I thought he had improvements in the last game. I can complain about the players all I want, but it's our job to try to help them. That's all we're trying to do now. I think we have a number of players that can be better, are going to have to be better if we're going to remain competitive. It's our job to try to help them.
I know we talked about Tippett a lot yesterday, but you and Chuck have both said this is like you trying to figure out what you have for the future. How do you think he's sees that opportunity, even though it's just a few games, and kind of made a statement?
Tip you're talking about? Yeah, he's getting put in a lot of situations. I think he still has to understand how quick this league is. I think his thinking has to be quicker. He's got the big shot, scores the 5th goal. It's a heavy shot. We know that about him, but he has a lot to learn about away from the puck. To learn about momentums of games, protecting pucks, all the things that really don't show up when you're watching it. It's the little things that he has to learn, and I think that's what's becoming a pro. I think he has a ways to go in understanding that.
Putting him with Konechny and Hayes, what are the things you want him to take from each of their games, or learn from each of them?
Yeah, I haven't had that conversation. Watch him to do this. I think he needs to be his own guy. It's a couple of veteran guys that he's playing with. When you see TK play, you certainly can see his energy. Tip's not that. He doesn't skate like TK. He's not that way. But I think as they play together, and who knows how long they do, who knows what happens there. He can ask questions. You know, I think that's incumbent upon him. I've told you guys, I think he has a bright future, but potential is potential. That's just what it is. It's a matter of going through the steps of learning and getting about your business the proper way to become a better player.
Towards having Cam here, what's it been like to get him back or be a part of this
Cam
thing?
here?
Yes, sir. Well,
You got that camera on me.
Yes, sir.
Is that what you're doing?
Well, I have another camera.
Okay,
But
then why are you using that one?
because I can show Columbus John Tortorella is back.
Okay, what's your question?
Cam Atkinson, how has he helped you?
Well, it hasn't been, Cam hasn't just been with us, he's been hurt.
Right.
I saw Cam for about 10 seconds before I came out to see you guys and before we had our meeting. But he certainly has, when I first started there, I think been a really good conduit.
Yep.
As far as the expectations of camp, how we're gonna go about it as a coaching staff, I think he's kind of an inroad for me with the team as far as, certainly when we first started.
The way Doobie was here?
Oh, I don't put it with Doobie, no.
Yeah, okay.
Cam's a whole different situation for me. Cam and I have our relationship has gone to a whole different level because I've coached Cam for so long.
Okay.
And now he's with that team, and we had conversations in the summer. You know, Cam's we miss him. You know, he's a great pro, but I think the only way he's helped me so far is the beginning of me going there and him kind of cluing people in as far as the expectation, especially the readiness for the training camp.
Okay.
I think they did a great job coming in early. All the guys came in early and got ready for our training camp, which was a really good sign for our team. I think Ken and a couple of the older guys kind of led the way there.
It's a little strange being in that room, though. I know you've been gone a couple of years, but to come down this hall and be in that.
Yeah, of course it is. You know, Brad Larson's a very good friend of mine, and he's told me about some of the locker room, how it's been changed. I'd love to see that locker room sometime. It won't be during a hockey season, it'll be sometime after.
Right.
But yeah, I don't, you know, I'm not gonna get overloaded with all this stuff. I'm here with the
I'm
Philadelphia
done.
Flyers.
I'm
Yeah,
done.
you've been kind of taking up a lot of time here, so I'm here with the Flyers, and that is my main responsibility, help this team get ready for tonight's game.